Hi, I'm Mike,
And I'm Sam.
and this is
Wise Words for Dodo Birds.
He's got to bring us closer.
All right, welcome back to the Dodo Birds podcast. Happy New Year. Shout out to Slim Pickens on the intro track. We haven't done that in a while, and I really do love that song. I enjoy it. So
It's a banger.
Yeah, it feels like a good idea to just every once in a while give a shout out to him. As you can see, we are recording 3 angles. We've got a desk in the studio. We got a nice plant, and we actually didn't have any stuffed dodo birds yet, so we have pelicans,
Yeah,
as you can see.
they're vintage Beanie Babies, man. They're
Yeah.
a big deal if you were in 1998.
But we're actually, to be completely honest with you, Dodo Birds, we're really excited about this new setup. We've spent quite a few hours in the last few days working to get it all set up so that we could have a nice deal for us today.
Yeah, so hopefully you like it and it's a little bit more visually pleasing. This is just the beginning where we keep saying we're going to get better. And I hope those who have been listening since the beginning can tell that we have been getting marginally better. But
Yeah. I mean, I know I can. I had to cycle through a bunch of episodes the other day and I could just notice it getting better.
yeah,
And hey, the video is going to help, I think, so much. I hope y'all are enjoying it as much as we are, because we're also putting a lot of work into it.
for sure. So we're going to start off today's episode. We're going to talk about New Year's resolutions a little bit. We are going to talk about, maybe some common resolutions. Sam and I will talk about our personal resolutions, and we want to talk about a resolution for the show.
That's right. I actually forgot we talked about we're gonna
Yeah,
do one for Dodo Birds.
We'll
too.
hatch it out together.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
Yeah, we'll commit to something on the fly, but it will be solidified in the annals of time.
Shall we seal it in blood on the camera?
I'm down, dude. I poke my finger a lot.
Right, you're used to that shit.
Yeah, does a blood contract count if it's just like a diabetes
Just a
pin?
drop?
Yeah. If we just push fingertips together, is that still a blood contract?
Dude, I would do it.
Oh yeah, I mean, opposed to the slit of the palm and
Yeah,
shit.
that seems like a bit far.
Yeah, if we could get by a blood contract by just touching our pinkies together, I'm
Dude,
down.
yeah.
I'll do that tomorrow.
Honestly, we should do a little homework on that. Then maybe on the next episode we'll do it.
They've got good AIDS medication now.
Right. AIDS medication.
That's what happens when you put your blood together sometimes.
You get AIDS.
Sometimes.
If one of you has AIDS, right?
Right, yeah, it's that's a way to transfer it, yes.
It's a way to transfer it. It's
Yeah.
just like getting
I know
AIDS from sealing
Yeah, right,
your
yeah.
blood.
That's how it was
No,
started.
I'm pretty sure that's how HIV. Maybe I shouldn't say pretty sure, but I know you're not supposed to put your blood together. That's
well,
Yeah,
especially in large amounts. In a small amount like that, it's fine. But you don't want to bleed 2 different
'Cause you
blood
don't
types
want-
together. That would be
you don't
awful.
want somebody else's blood entering your system. Anyway,
Could you imagine being the earliest doctors that tried blood transfusions? Okay, well, it worked with this guy.
And it
For
didn't
some
work.
reason, it didn't work over here.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and they're just I don't fucking get it.
I don't get it. Exactly.
Give me 100 people, and we're putting all their bloods in each other.
Right. We're
Until
gonna test
something
all
works.
this out.
Yeah.
I think they did have, they found out about the universal donors first. They knew that, some people's blood was good for anybody. And they didn't know why.
I'm curious how they found that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seemed like more trial and error. And I don't know how they tested people. to
I just
see if
imagine
had
they
that,
have some
too.
guy locked up. He's
Right.
he's got the magic blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, we can't bleed him anymore. It's we can. And we
We
will.
will find a way. Get him
Give
lots
a break.
of oranges.
Bring him some orange juice.
Yeah.
So, resolution.
Well, actually, so I have a couple things. So New Year's resolution never meant shit to me.
Sure.
You know, especially growing up, it's as a kid, you're I'm going to try that. And then, a week or two into January, you're all right, I'm just keep doing what I was doing.
Yeah, I feel like that's the basic thing with everybody is like that they're so forgettable and like not really, not fulfilling your New Year's resolution is very common. I
Yeah.
feel.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. So I just stopped doing it for a long time. Like I didn't even worry about it. But then 2020 to 2021, I decided to start, exercising, I wanted to be healthy. And I was like, even in my head, I was like, it's such a cliche New Year's resolution, but I was like, who gives a fuck? I'm just going to do it. And actually I did. I started working out almost every day, like I'll skip a day here and there, but like, and nothing crazy, not like CrossFit or like anything fucked up like that. Not to say you're fucked up if you do CrossFit, but for
But
me,
like,
it would be,
yeah.
that would
Nothing,
be
nothing intense, just regular.
exactly. I stuck with it all year, 2021. And then so for 2022, I was like, well, I did it last year, so I'm like, I'm gonna step it up. I'm gonna get some heavier weights, start doing more reps of everything, and better floor exercises, add to the palette, and sure enough, in 2022 I was actually able to do that, and I'm feeling better. Like that's the thing, I'm obviously at the oldest point in my life, in my 30s now, and like I feel better than I ever did in my 20s.
That's
for the
awesome.
most part.
So what about, like, so if you take back like just the cultural expectation of a New Year's resolution, and then how people just bail on them so quickly, and actually like think about it, kind of literally, and just like a thing that you want to improve in your life. With me at least, I always self-evaluate myself and like think about how I could do better, and like maybe try to change some habits. And
I think the easiest thing with New Year's resolutions is to set your goals low. Don't make it something crazy.
I'm gonna make $1 million this year.
Honestly, I will say, like, when I first started this back in 2021, the workout thing, I was like, I'm gonna try to do 20 sit-ups, 12 push-ups, like 15 reps with really light weights, and what was it? Leg lifts for lower abs. I was like, that's it. Like, I'm gonna try to do 8 of those a day. And that shit was hard. Like, I was like,
sure.
I realized how incredibly out of shape I was. But you do that, then throughout the year, you just add more to it, and by the end of the year, you're doing an actual workout and not some. See, and I think that's the thing. A lot of people, they think they're supposed to start with an actual workout, or supposed to start or do something like up to really raise the bar on your life with a New Year's resolution. And it's
you
like,
can't damage your muscles to start something regular,
Yeah, well, like quit smoking, right? Like that seems like that's like cold turkey. Like maybe quit smoking while you're driving if you're someone who smokes and drives.
Right.
That's a good. And then by extension, you may quit smoking for the year, but you got to start small.
Yeah. We can talk about that a little bit more when we talk about other people's resolutions.
But so you want to know more about one that I have made for myself?
What is your?
Well, I've pondered a couple. I don't know what I've actually made yet, because you actually gave me an idea for one. One was to stop eating before I go to bed, because I do that. I'm a big like snack before I go to sleep person.
That's tough.
Yeah, and so far, actually, just the last 2 or 3 days, like I practiced it, and like so, like I go to bed around between midnight or 11 o'clock and 2 a.m. on a pretty regular basis. So I try to make sure no later than if I know I'm gonna be up till 2, like okay, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, but like
I think
no later.
The key is to give your body at least an hour and a half, like bare minimum.
Yeah.
I mean the
longer the better.
Yeah, right.
But I think you're right. Hour and a half, 2 hours. And a big part of that is also because your body has to like do a lot of work to digest food, and if you're asleep when you're doing that,
your body slows down.
You're in low power mode. Your functionality is on basic autopilot. So digestion is like pretty rough on the body while you're sleeping.
Yeah. And then, I was also considering just my usual, the thing I've done the last couple of years where, like, maybe I actually, because, like, I don't have a bench press, like, I don't have, like, I had a elliptical for a while. That doesn't work so much anymore. So, I was thinking about adding, as a New Year's, another regular thing to my workout, which that, again, to me, that would be simple since I have a regular workout already. Just adding a little something to it.
Sure.
It wouldn't be, I guess simple is
It's
not the
not a
right
huge,
word.
lofty goal.
Yeah, it's not like trying to end world.
It's a
fucking
realistic goal.
Yeah.
Because you're already kind of in the habit. You're just changing it up a little bit. Have you ever thought about a rowing machine?
No, but I would. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a really good like full body workout.
Okay.
I hear from people who are in shape, not
Right.
not me. I'm not a fitness guru, but I've heard good things, and there are some basic things that seem to check out with the logic. You're using your arms and legs and abs, so.
Okay, cool. And actually, so Ian, could you Google a picture of that for me while
Like a
you
rowing
tell
machine?
me about what yours is? Because speaking of you and your, you got
Yeah.
any New Year's resolutions?
It's not to work out more. Sorry to disappoint you. Like with staying on the thing of being realistic, I just, not that my health isn't important, but yeah, I'm taking the mental approach to my health on this 2024 resolution. I used to meditate a lot, like every day, sometimes multiple times a day.
Okay.
And I had that stretch for 2-3 years. And I was really happy at that point in my life. I've found, and maybe as I'm getting older, I'm getting more anxious. I'm getting more, I just worry about stuff more. And I think I want to get back on daily meditation. I'm going to start at 5 minutes and try to get back to my 15 that I was at.
Well, as someone who's never successfully meditated and has reasons not to believe in it, I do.
Yeah.
And I think you should.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there. I've beaten that monster before, but my head is much more cloudy nowadays. So it's gonna be a challenge to like get back to calm equilibrium. But I'm definitely gonna work at.
Well,
Like,
you do it at home or?
yeah.
I've actually meditated before. I was dating a girl whose family meditated. It was like almost like a church thing. It was once a week, and we actually went somewhere, and they had the whole.
And you were able to
ambiance
successfully do it?
No.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like I've tried, but like I'm talking about successfully, like
Yeah.
Mike has.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like
I've like, for those that don't know much about meditation, it's just like, for me, and there's a bunch of different ways to achieve like this feeling, but for me, it's just like imagining an entirely black space, and then I imagine the words in and out, like with smoke or vapor, and so in, and it fills up, and I have this mental image in my head, and then it dissipates out, and then the smoke comes back with every breath, and then you silence all the background thoughts, like the anxiety about work or this and that, and you just focus on this thing.
see that's
It's really hard.
that's
but,
the part I can't do. Like
right.
I,
You can get there though. Like,
should
and
try
it's going to be
again.
challenging for me to get back there. But I
bet.
have achieved it, and I've been to like a place where it's just nothing, and
Well-
there's no time, there's no
and
worry.
I think I've mentioned to you in private conversation about like that's something that Sam Harris does. He meditates, and he's a neuroscientist, and he's talked about how there is some very serious connections to the brain
Yeah.
through meditation.
Oh, yeah.
And he's actually not the only neuroscientist who said that. Like meditation's like, and man, like
As someone who's harnessed it before, it's like it's
yeah.
fucking powerful. And
it's crazy.
I feel a little bit of shame that I let myself get away from that. But life just,
happens,
got
man.
busier, different people around me. I just had less silence and peace in my life, and I think that's what I'm trying to get back to.
Yeah.
I
think
have
you should do
another
that.
one as well that like kind of ties into the meditation thing, is I want to work on my patience. I'm not
Oh,
a
yeah.
patient person. I like my tea kettle, that little fills up quick. Like
Yeah,
I
mine
start to
too.
get frustrated. And so I really want to work on my patience. And with my deep breathing exercises that are going to go with meditation, and just like not breathing in so much of this fucking stuff. Breathe in fucking air and really deep breathe and get my breath control under control. I think that will help with the patients too. Deep breaths, calm the fuck down. It's not, why are you feeling emotional about the thing that just happens, Just let it wash by.
Yeah, and actually, when we were in high school, our guidance, I had serious anger problems back then. I've been able to get a bit of a grip on it as I've gotten older, but like the guidance counselor we had, not really relevant to meditation, but like you were saying with breathing.
Yeah.
Like
Well-
I was just so angry, so upset. I was getting bullied a lot and shit, and there wasn't any immediate fix to the problem. But in that moment, she was literally like, just stop and focus on your breathing. That's what I do anytime I have anything wrong. I stop thinking about it and just breathe. And in that moment, it was great. Sometimes if you're getting attacked, stopping and breathing is not necessarily going to solve the problem.
Yeah.
But
if you have to analyze a situation,
when you're on
when you feel
down-
emotional,
exactly, and you
Right.
can't. It's like it's a slow moment.
Yeah.
Now is time to chill, and you can't chill. That's when you just focus on breathing.
Yeah.
And also it helps with hiccups. By the way, not holding your breath,
Yeah.
focusing, and it's because honestly, hiccups are kind of the same thing. It's like your body is not, it's just not steady right now. You need to level yourself out. Take deep breaths. Get control of yourself.
for sure. And that's one of the pillars of meditation is just breathing.
See, then I might. I don't know. Maybe there.
I think it's very beneficial, like especially the state of mind, first state of mind.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah,
I just wonder why I can't do it.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to silence everything else. And yeah, that's why I'm tackling that monster again this year, because it's not going to
And
get
also-
easier as I get older.
Don't expect results right away. Like the problem I had, I think, like I felt like calmer at the time and everything like that, but my mind was also just racing and I couldn't, block everything out. But the more and more you work at it, the more and more you
It
get
probably
better
took me
at it.
6 months to achieve like a high.
Yeah.
From
to
it.
actually like feel something from
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Other than just like, oh, that was nice.
See, and
It was
that could be
good.
part
It
of
was
the problem.
calming.
I've never stuck with it for 6 months.
And
you know?
that's my problem with physical fitness,
Yeah.
I'll fucking go on bouts where I'll work out a lot and like be very active, and I just can't. I just can't make a routine of it.
I get that.
As much as I want to and try to, it's just like, so that's why I haven't made that because I
That's
want to be
why.
realistic with
Right,
myself.
right, yeah.
Well, and that's what I was thinking.
I do want to be more health conscious, but I'm not going to make that my goal.
Well, and
because
I think, especially because just the way you worded it earlier, it was like when it comes to like you start with the meditation thing and the patience will come.
yeah,
It's like that's a realist to have the two things in one like that. I consider a realistic goal. Now, if you're like, I'm going to try to meditate and I'm also going to try to get on the bike every morning,
yeah,
and it's like,
and I'm starting an eBay dropshipping
yeah,
business.
exactly. It's like that's just too much, and you're not going to do any of them,
Right.
You know.
And then you'll feel defeated, disappointed that you didn't do one goal. That will bleed into the next, So yeah, I think starting with the root problem here, hopefully more kinks will be worked out of the hose of my mind. But yeah, so just you want to try some different kind of fitness.
Yeah.
Like you want to do more full body stuff, or
Yeah, I mean, I've been getting like heavier weights, and I've been getting like I recently got weights that you wrap around your ankles and your wrists. It just makes everything harder,
Yeah.
And that has been helping a lot. But I've been thinking about getting a new piece of equipment or something.
what's your goal?
I don't see. That's the thing. I don't really set goals.
No. Like, what's your? Why do you do it other than being health conscious?
To feel good.
Yeah.
That's
like
literally it.
full,
But you're not
like-
trying to get big.
No,
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting
Exactly.
at. It's
No
like
weight loss, no
you're
weight
looking,
gain.
You're looking for more of a CrossFit type, movement, but
Sure.
mobility, dexterity, flexibility. You're looking for just overall feeling better. And
Yeah.
you're not trying to like fucking rip out your delts, dude.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
for example, like jogging around. Like I don't do cardio exercises, but
Yeah.
like delivering pizza, is an easier job when I do what I do on a regular basis.
Sure.
Going
Sure.
upstairs, running around, watching, even just being like more willing to do anything. Like when we moved the couch out of here yesterday, it's like a couple few years ago, that would have been the kind of thing I'd have been like, all right, I can do this. You know what I mean? But yesterday I was kind of excited. I was like, hell yeah, it's another thing to do to feel active. It's just like, I don't know. I like how it makes me feel now.
So we've got a rowing machine pulled up. Would that be something?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, like you were talking about a bench press. That surprisingly takes a lot of space up. It
does. I mean, I have a whole
bench,
room.
A bench is
Right,
good
right.
for like a few muscle groups. Like
It really doesn't help
if
with
overall health.
Actually, you can use a bench, like the weight thing. You're absolutely right about that. Like when you lay on your back and do, but you can use a bench. I have discovered for a lot of things.
Sure,
just
you
having
can
it
do-
there, and I don't have anything like that, so it would be a good investment. But I am liking what we're looking at here. What's this called again?
It's called a rowing machine.
A rowing machine. Okay.
And so like
It's good for like
you
your
pull
back.
on it. Yeah, it's good for your back, your abs, because you're like sitting down. Your
Core.
Yeah, and as well as your legs, because you like push back.
This might be the thing I need. Yeah, and there should be like a picture of it somewhere on the video too. I'm gonna edit one in so people can kind of see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Even though there's like probably fitness guys and gals like
I know that a lot of Olympic trainers, they use rowing machines for various things. But it's one of the best like full body workouts.
Yeah.
that was
'Cause
it. There's
it's
probably
legs,
people who are like, this
legs,
is the way
back,
to go.
abs, shoulders.
And that's like, again, like I'm not saying it's bad to do cardio because it is good to do cardio.
Yeah.
But this kind of stuff, it still gets your heart rate up.
Yeah, this is good
and
cardio.
it doesn't, and it and it doesn't like work it as hard as like running or riding a bike in an intense way, because like they've, not to like talk shit about stuff I haven't deeply researched, but too much heart activity when you're like running all, like there was definitely a guy who did this I know for sure who dropped dead from running, and he like wrote books and like ran for a living and shit.
Yeah.
Talked about how great it was, and it's like there is too much. You can work your heart too much, even if it is doing a good thing.
Runners in
And-
general, like a lot of them do it to get that runner's high, and it's
Yeah.
like that's like a warning right there. Like you were,
Yeah, you should not be doing it
you're
as a
not
drug.
supposed to be doing
Yeah.
that.
And for the sake of like being realistic about your goals and stuff, you just got to keep in mind what you're shooting for. So it doesn't matter what other people do. Other people do fucking 600-pound deadlifts. I'm never gonna do that, and I'm fine with that.
No, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah.
I'm good
so
with
you're,
not doing that.
Just be realistic with what your overall purpose is, and then like your likelihood to get there. So yeah, this might be a good time to talk about some other people's resolutions or some common ones. Let's start with like the statistic of how often people follow through.
So it looks like researchers suggest that only 9% of Americans that make resolutions complete them. In fact, research goes to go on to show that 23% of people quit their resolution by the end of the first week, and 43%, that's almost half, quit by the end of January.
Yeah.
See, I honestly would have even expected more. I bet it's 90% or some shit in like the first 6 months. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Probably even less than that. Like,
Yeah, like
I wonder
the
how
actual percentage of people that actually do it, it's probably
Yeah.
less than a 1%.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't know. I want to give humanity 1% benefit of the doubt,
And I don't think
The
it's
New Year's resolution, it's one of those things that's just meant to be broken. It's like
Kind
a
of.
wish.
It kind of is.
Yeah. I mean, just because it's such a thing to be like, oh, make a resolution, and then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I guess.
What would you improve about your life? And
But if you do take it literally, and each one of our holiday episodes, we've kind of like tried to take the literal approach to what the holiday is based off of.
Yeah.
And so what the custom is based off of. And so like I think everybody has one aspect of their life that they could, really try to push themselves and be just a little better. not change you entirely.
Yeah, well,
like,
and it doesn't have to be on New Year's.
yeah.
You can do a New Year's resolution
But it's a
any
good
day.
it's a good reminder.
It is.
And like,
But like, do it on your birthday. You know what I mean? There's still other annual times you can be like, you know what? Starting today, you could pick a day and be like, and honestly, it's better to just pick the day and do it on the day that you are thinking of it. Because I can't tell you the number of times in my life that I'm like, I'm going to start doing this and this, but I will do it after this, because I got Thanksgiving coming up or whatever.
I think that's
I need to be able to smoke.
I think that's why the practice probably picked up. New year, new goal.
New year, new me.
It's easy. It's
Yeah.
easy to like be like January 1st. That's the fucking day.
That's the day.
And
maybe
so
it
what are
is.
some of the common ones we have?
I almost wonder if these are just things that were given by people, like
Or maybe
maybe some of the same
have more
people
than
who
one.
gave improved fitness also said improved finances. You know what I
Right,
mean? Shit like
right.
that. But anyways, it looks like rather than listing off the percentages, what we will say is like the top one on here is improving fitness, which obviously we get. And then the next one is improving finances, and that's actually not something I really think of that I imagine a lot of people do. Like
I think we'll keep going. And I'll give
Okay.
you my thoughts on it.
okay, so you just want to go through the whole list rather than talk about them?
No, we
As we
can.
go?
We can.
Okay. Because
I'll come back to that one though.
all right,
Because
well,
it
They do start following like,
leads
kind
up
of
to a
theme,
broader
but
point.
yeah.
Okay. Well, and then improve mental health, which I think you were talking about with the meditation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Lose weight, that's practically improved fitness. Improve
Yeah.
diet, it's kind of in the same
Yeah,
realm.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
They kind of-
Those are all in the live longer category as far as I'm concerned.
yeah.
Make
a good
make
way
more
to put
time
it.
for loved one. That's a good one to like that I think a lot of people take for granted. They
Yeah.
don't think about that enough. And that's a good one.
It's sad that not a lot of people statistically follow through with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we have stop smoking.
Stop smoking is common, but who actually does it on New Year? Like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like that's one you're not going to be able to do cold turkey. So like improving your smoking habits, or
Well, like for me, because I quit
eventually
smoking.
weaning yourself off.
Like for me, I quit smoking, but I picked up vaping, and
Right.
it was just a random decision out of nowhere one day in May of 2021. After I was like, I had already started working out. Maybe that was part of it. I didn't even think about that till now. But like,
And some people are better equipped to handle those things. Like you quit and switched right away, and like
I tried doing it a couple times. I would even go to where Mike works to get like little, disposable vapes, and it just did not work. And then I don't know. One day, I think my brother started doing it, and he found like a disposable vape at the time that I was like, oh, I could get a flavor of that I like, and I managed to do it.
Yeah.
But there wasn't any sort of like, I didn't make it a big thing. It was just like, I want to do this, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Picking a day in the future is like, that says you're just waiting.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like about weaning yourself off and like just improving the habits,
Yeah, and I think if you, but see, I
Like starting to work out doesn't mean you're getting shredded every day. It just
Exactly.
means that you're at least making a conscious effort to
I guess just from
introduce that.
From the smoking thing, it's like I can't tell you the number of times I tried to do that. Like New Year's resolution, I'm gonna quit smoking. But then I'm like, oh well, maybe I'll just wean, and it just never works. You know what I mean? That one's a little bit of a different animal than some of these other things, as far as I'm concerned. That one is you should probably just do it cold turkey. Now, I understand nicotine addiction, and there's definitely ways to like patch that. No pun intended. But like, I don't know, like trying to wean off like, oh, I went 3 days without a smoke, or I went the whole day without a smoke. Now I'm going to have one.
No, I mean more like go from 3 packs a day to 1.
Sure.
Right.
like,
Sure.
wean yourself down. Because like, I think
I didn't smoke 3 packs a day, so I didn't. That was a goal
That's
that I
pretty
wouldn't have
extreme.
even thought
like,
of.
I think cold turkey is just really, really hard for most people. I think there's probably less than 1% of the population that can do it.
And I don't
Yeah.
know if switching to vape counts as cold turkey.
No, it doesn't.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. In fact, you're still a smoker.
All right, so after that, we've got learn a new skill. I think that one's good. I hope people follow through with that.
That one is totally in the mic realm. Like that's totally something I could see you doing. That's something that is honestly like That's a good example of something that you've almost just adopted into your life.
Yeah, I don't need like it's fitness to you.
Yeah, well, see, there are people who are really into fitness.
No, but
Yeah,
I'm saying it's part of your
it's part of my
your
daily
routine.
thing. Yeah,
you,
and
you
that,
know you don't have to make yourself do it. You just think
exactly,
about it.
and that's definitely like I came over here one day and he was just like making clay figures, you know, and I think it was
I definitely used to do it a lot more. Like I had a bunch of hobbies. Like for a while, it was like learning different languages and things like that.
Yeah, I think that's good for you. I like seeing that on the list.
Improve work-life balance. Now that one, I haven't been able to relate to in many years, but I have put too much time into work before.
Yeah,
It's been a long time now since I have. But yeah, that's one that should be higher on the list, actually. I
mean,
think.
yeah, I feel
See,
like it's everybody's constant struggle. It's nothing that needs to be done as a New Year's resolution. Like people are always working
I feel like
on
the
this.
people that put this down as their thing, it's because their particular situation is really
it's excessive.
Yeah.
Excessive.
like
Yeah.
like people that work
Yeah.
14, 16 hours a day.
Exactly.
Don't see their kids.
Or even
like-
just like 60 hours a week, something like that, which I guess that could be fucking 12 hours a day.
Yeah. Travel more is the next one. Which, good for you.
Good for you.
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like a lot of these ones at the end seem like people who have like their life already figured out.
Hey, look, meditate regularly is on there.
Yeah, it's on there.
So, wow. But see, again, that's part of like, improving mental health.
Yeah.
Drink less alcohol should be higher on the fucking list.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like we're a little like biased because the state we live in. We live in Wisconsin, so we see a lot of drunks.
Yeah.
Um,
And we also
I don't know if
do it
that's-
though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it seems probably more important to us than it does. Like, if you're just from like Ohio, it's like, yeah, you have a beer sometimes. I don't know.
I mean,
Like,
honestly, that's sort of true and sort of not. Like,
everywhere has its
I was
drunks.
going to say,
but
as someone who's lived around the country, it's not just here. I mean,
No, it's
it's
definitely
no. I'm just
it's
saying.
exceptionally bad here, and we
Yeah,
can definitely.
and it's
say
I'm
more
just saying
culturally
that
accepted
It's
here.
in our like.
it's more in the forefront of our minds.
Yeah, we
because of
see
that.
drunks all the time.
That's
you
maybe
know?
why I'm thinking it should be higher on the list.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm thinking. That
Also,
other
like,
places it's less
I
important.
just feel like if you have a problem, you're not going to put it on your New Year's resolution.
Right.
Oh yeah, if you have a real problem with alcohol,
yeah, you're like,
no one.
no, I'm not
Yeah.
stopping. You're crazy.
Unless alcohol is not like someone who has a real problem and genuinely wants to do something about it, drink less alcohol is probably not.
Yeah, I feel like
It's
the
no
people who make a
alcohol
New
for
Year's
the ones who
resolution
genuinely want
are
it.
like coming out of their like college crazy days and like working a real life and starting a family or something. They're like, I need to calm down
Yeah,
this
yeah.
drinking.
Looks like
I have friends that always say like I need to stop or I need to start, and just it's always I should.
yeah, exactly. It's a lot of talking about it and not doing it, and
That's
I do
what
want
New
to
Year's
give.
resolutions are for, though. It's
I
like
do-
it's that thing you've like always been promising yourself, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna make it my New Year's resolution. Actually, put some effort into it for
Yeah.
a week or so.
Yeah.
I fucking like. We'll get to the last one here, and then we'll have some takes. But last one is perform better at work.
Performing better at work is one that I like was thinking about because it definitely depends on the job, I think, and like. Because and your employer and your situation, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because in some cases, your employer deserves 100% out of you. Like I wholeheartedly believe that. But at other times, they don't.
If you get paid minimum wage, it's fine to do a minimum
Exactly.
wage job.
Yes, if you're getting paid minimum wage, do a minimum wages amount. Now, and it depends on what minimum wage. If it's appropriate in your state, which
Yeah.
it might be, I don't know the cost of living in all the states. But if it's fucking federal minimum wage, pretty much anywhere, you're good to like slack the fuck off, and you
Yeah.
do not owe a boss to perform better at work.
Yeah,
you
and so
know?
I don't know if that's like a guilt angle where it's like I get paid a lot, I really should do more.
And in
that
those cases, maybe it should.
yeah.
I think it's also probably like I want to get a raise at work. Like
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
people are saying like I want to do better at work, going like I'm gonna improve myself and ask for a raise.
Yeah.
Evaluate why you're saying that. I think is fair. But Yeah, so I have a couple of thoughts on some of these goals. I mean, I love a lot of them. I think a lot of them are really positive. The one I have a glaring problem with is the second most popular, and that's going to be improve fitness. I mean, excuse me, improve finances.
Yeah. You said you had thoughts on that.
Yeah. Because it breaks down to like a lot of different issues that you have to get under control first. Why do you want improved finances? Like, is it for you? Is it for status? Is it for, like, I often think that improving finances won't always make you happier, which is what the person is probably shooting for, where a lot of these other ones, I think, do solve that problem. Like improving your diet, you'll feel better. Improving your mental health, you'll feel better.
Yeah.
But improving your finances might not always do it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times improving finances makes it easier to improve all these other things. But a lot of times people think that just having money is everything,
Yeah.
which it is. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, money won't always make you happier, though.
Right.
No,
Like-
it won't. And that it's like that's what they say. Like the richest people who are lonely are still, And there's actually a lot of people out there too with mental health issues that have been rich as fuck and they like kill themselves. It's like they have all the money in the world. They got family too,
Yeah.
It's like improving mental health is definitely should be higher on than finances on the list.
Because I think it solves a lot of problems from the root. And I'm not saying that because it's the one I chose. Like, I really do believe that.
Well, and I mean, there's a whole nother rabbit hole we could go down about like, and actually, I don't know. It's just like if you're stay off the fucking internet. Like if you have really serious mental health issues, or choose what you're looking at better on the internet.
Yeah.
Like stop following politics or whatever it is. Like I know that I know a handful of people.
Improving your mental health, I think, like inherently means trying to tackle some of the problems at the source.
Yeah.
In realizing what the source is half the battle.
Yeah.
Like realizing that my depression or whatever it is stems from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can tackle that somewhere, that something, it makes the rest of the journey a lot easier. Easier said than done, for sure. Like, but I think improving your mental health, like, you really just gotta kind of think about what it is specifically. You can't, like, I don't like that it's such a blanket term.
Yeah.
Like,
I was going to say, like, it can be used as a blanket term or exactly the way you're talking about, like, talking in specifics. Because when people say improve my mental health, they mean, like, get more zen.
yeah.
And, like, but
how?
if people who actually have mental health problems, they're talking about their
like,
mental health
what
problems.
does it take to get you there? Like to get you zen. What does it take? What's the source?
Well, I think it is different for everybody.
Well, and I also on that particular note, like I don't know, maybe I'm separating it, but I think it's similar to what Mike was saying. Like find the source. Like so many people, and sometimes your brain is just broken. Sometimes it literally is just chemical imbalance. A simple pill fixes everything. But other times that's not the case. Like there's something that's making you this way.
But like both are fine to
you need to understand which one it is.
If you have a chemical imbalance, it's like you need to figure that out.
Right,
And like not you need to figure that out, but I'm saying like you need to explore your options, and like if you're just living debilitated or living in a truly unhappy existence, there are more times than not there are things that can help. Not change your consciousness, but help.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't get into like
That's
psychotherapy.
But look, if that's what if you
psychedelics rant, but
and if we have a dodo bird listening who is like, this is my thing, we want to like this is the best wise words we can give you on this particular topic is like find the root of it. Make sure you know what the problem is and get help too. Like family, friends, anybody close to you. If it's coworkers, I mean, if you're,
Self-evaluate,
but don't self-diagnose
Right,
Yeah.
right.
either.
Yeah,
That
try to
is-
figure out the root and then have a professional help you
Yeah, see a
with the rest of the
professional.
way.
And if you're in America, find a way to get health insurance so you can see a professional.
There's a
about
lot of
this
places
stuff.
that do community outreach programs where they'll do therapy for cheap. It's more
Cheap.
accessible now.
This is the kind of thing that it would be nice if it was covered.
Yeah.
it would
Oh,
improve a lot
100%.
faster if people were.
With we'll run this as a proxy ad, but with a fast moving environment and everybody's mental health is on their mind, try BetterHelp, where you can get talk therapy from your house with the convenience of your smartphone.
Are we going to try to get them to sponsor us?
They probably won't, but
I actually haven't even thought about that. Sponsors.
no, I mean, I hear BetterHelp as as a sponsor a lot on
Yeah.
podcasts, but I actually do think it's like a really good service.
Well,
The fact that you can talk to people about some of the deepest problems that you wouldn't burden your friends, family with, like the stuff that's really fucking in there,
Mhm.
like being able to just vent it, I think is really important.
Yeah.
So I think we'll wrap it back into the conversation,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I think therapy is like something that I would like to see on this list because
yeah.
like I think therapy works out a lot of these problems too. Why do you want to be wealthier? Why do you want to do better at your job? Why do you want to have a better work-life balance?
Right.
Like, get you in tune to what you actually want and
And-
like where these wants come from. Is it to impress others? Is it to
Yeah,
impress
yeah.
yourself?
And a therapist is going to feel more comfortable because of the setting, asking you these questions that maybe people close to you who know you better aren't going to ask,
Yeah.
and they won't, therefore not forcing you to take a look at yourself. Therapists do that. I was in therapy for like 8 years. They definitely make you like think about what your intentions are.
I think it's really like even if you have a super stoked life, like you have an awesome life, I still think therapy is worth trying sometimes. I'm
Yeah.
not saying you have to do it all the time, but like try it out a couple times. It's kind of nice. With that being said, do we want to get to
Get to our advice column.
some amateur emotional support for some people on Reddit?
where we drop our wise words on some Reddit dodo birds. By the way, Mike actually made a point, dodo birds. We're also dodo birds. We're
Yeah.
pelicans today, but we're not like, the dodo bird is notoriously extinct
It's not demeaning. It's
for
not,
being stupid, which I guess I didn't really think about.
for me.
I didn't pick the name though, for the record.
For me, it's like everybody's dumb. Like everybody's stupid.
Yeah.
We're all capable of wiping ourselves out by keep living the same human lives that
yeah.
we've been living, know.
Let's not be like the dodo bird.
Yeah, we've talked about it a lot on this podcast of like just like recognizing the stupid parts of your coding and choosing to subvert it,
Yeah.
So that's where like the name comes from. I guess we've never really talked about that.
Yeah, we never really went into it, but the meaning might even develop more over time as we think of new shit to equate it to. But for now, we're gonna move on to the advice column here in Reddit. This dodo bird, we're zoomed in on it. It says from posted by
You don't have to.
Arzeodrum 5 hours ago. My anxiety turns into anger, which is 100 times worse. Advice needed. Spend a lot of time ruminating about the past, particularly about insults that people have said to me in the past and worrying that they still may be true. Some of these insults are from years ago and I still think about them. So initially, I'll be anxious about the insult and overthinking it, worrying that there's truth to it and trying to prove it wrong, or that I won't stop thinking about it and blowing it out of proportion. But what happens after a while is that I actually start to get angry at the existence of the problem. There's part of me who thinks that this problem shouldn't exist. I begin to think things like he didn't have to say that, and I would be fine right now if I just hadn't said that. This didn't have to happen. This shouldn't have happened. All he had to do was just not say that, etc., etc. Okay. And this anger, frustration over the problem's existence actually makes me feel worse than the initial anxiety does. It feels horrible. I wish I could just deal with my problems without this voice in the back of my head telling me this problem shouldn't exist. I'm going to bring it up with my therapist after the Christmas holidays, but for now, does anyone here have any advice to get over this anger? Wow. So actually, the first bit of advice I would have given you is therapy, and good on you, bud, because you fucking did that on your own. That's a really good start right there.
I have a few things to say about this.
Yeah. I have a lot as well, but just his decision to do therapy, I think, is a good one.
Some of the people in my circle in my life think this way, or like to my perception that they do. Is that it's like this would have been perfect if it wasn't just for like that particular instance, or like I was having such a great night until they said something about my shoes, or why did he have to be like that, or like. And yeah, it's hard to not hone in on those things, because I still do it. And that's why I feel comfortable talking about it, is because it's like something I willingly or actively try to placate. It's just focusing on a few instances. Like if you can boil a night down to bad off of 3% of the interactions of the night, that sucks. And it sounds like they're having a real hard time not doing that. And so it's corny to say like maybe focus on some of the moments where things were going perceived
no.
perfectly.
That doesn't seem right. Yeah, because whoever this is too busy thinking about, whatever that one thing
Right.
was.
Yeah,
So
this already
instead
happened
of-
like a long time ago. Yeah.
Right. So instead of dwelling on it in a negative sense, I mean, just tell yourself, because I definitely have that happen. I'll say something to somebody or do something. I mean, it's been a while, because as I get older, this becomes an easier problem to conquer. But, then I regret it thinking about it later. Hanging out in the shower, you just want to start screaming about it. But like,
What do
that's
you
the
feel
thing.
when you think about it and feel like emotionally?
I feel angry, like just like this.
Or is it like shame? Is it guilt?
A little bit, yeah.
Some in different cases, yeah.
I was gonna say, definitely guilt in some cases. Like,
So like what we talked about, like, nipping the bud at the root. Like maybe you're uncomfortable with moments of guilt or shame, or
okay. So I have a good one for like if you're thinking, oh, I didn't have to say that. Well, whoever you said that to, if there's two options, right? You're either never going to see him again, then fuck it. Like who cares what you said to him? If you're never going to see this person again, it really does not matter that much. Now, if it's someone you're going to see again and it truly is something that you like have second thoughts about or regret saying, then say that next time. Just be like, that was the thing for me. It's like, just be an adult about what you said, own it, change your mind, the future goes on,
I think he's speaking more broadly. Like to me, it seems like he frequently has these moments where it's like, it's not anything specific. It's like he frequently has things come back to him and he feels emotional about them. Like,
yeah.
What do you think about that? That's how I perceive
like
it.
it's just some random thing that it
something
like,
that happened in high
stuff,
school, like
stuff in
something
the
somebody
past.
said
It's
to
just
him,
like,
or,
and if it's from way in the past, like,
or like it seems to me that it might be recent stuff too.
I say it depends. It depends
Yeah.
on what it is, because if it's something in the past, especially like high school, if you're my age, or if you're even in your mid-20s and you don't see those people anymore, none of it matters. You're a different person than you were.
Yeah.
Don't dwell on that.
But if it's
And
something that happened
more recent,
like at work today,
if it's something that happened at work today, again, that comes back to what I said earlier about like, just go into work the next day and own up to whatever it is, whatever stupid thing you said. If you really do feel it's stupid, now if If you're just feeling a certain way because of how you think other people are gonna think about it, that's a different story. But like
Yeah.
if you genuinely are like, fuck, and it's just nipping at you, then just go in the thing the next day and be like,
Like, hey, was I out of line when I
yeah,
said that?
exactly. Like that
Are we
makes,
cool?
And maybe sometimes I tell you what, people react way better to that than you would think on a more regular basis.
Yeah.
Like, once in a while you'll get someone who maybe just going to take that as an opportunity to put you down more. But for the most part, people handle that and react to that very well.
Yeah. I mean, I think like, do I feel ashamed or do I feel guilty for saying speaking my piece or whatever it is, and just like trying to deal with the problem at the root, like I said. But, oh man,
You lost it.
I had it.
So let me read something. Like this particular paragraph. So initially, I'll be anxious about an insult and overthinking it, worrying if there's truth to it, and trying to prove it wrong, or that I won't stop thinking about it and blowing it out of proportion. So it sounds like it's an insult, and the anxiety they feel is from like, are they
Somebody
right?
said something. Okay, well
but they're perceiving it as an insult. I've got it. So like when you're thinking back, and if you can't help but to think back, because that's how anxiety works. It's not really up to you. Like you keep thinking back to the past and you have moments that don't just sit in your stomach well, right? Use that as a teaching experience or lesson, that when I said this thing, or when I'm with these people who say this thing, or like, maybe I don't need to perceive it as an insult. Greg, he was just fucking around or something. In
some cases, that very well could have been
the way you perceive things might be a way to get at the problem, and also use some of the moments where you feel guilt or shame on things you've said back as a teaching lesson. I feel icky when I treated such and such this way. And so like he's already uncomfortable with it. So you can use that as like kind of a barometer going forward to not, maybe I don't speak like that to my coworkers or this and that. And you might feel better in the long run. And it's not going to be something that changes the past stuff. You can use it as a teaching lesson to how to navigate forward.
Absolutely.
And be happier.
Yeah. Well, and on the term of insults too. First off, make sure you're being insulted, and the best way to do that, in my experience, is laugh it off. Whatever was said, laugh it off, make a joke. Yeah, and then that way, you might still be being insulted as a joke, but like that way, if they're trying to press your buttons, they're gonna say something again.
Yeah.
And now you know how to take it. Now you know it was an insult, and now you can.
Well, they said that they might be overthinking it. So, like,
Exactly.
some things that are insults might not be intended as that. And
Yeah.
so, like what you said, just, like, say, like, confront the person.
Yeah, just
like,
and you don't necessarily have to do that. You can just laugh. If
It's
you
an
laugh
option.
things off, yeah, exactly. Confronting is an option, but you can just laugh things off. Like in my experience, like there are people who try, and then I laugh it off, and then then it makes them straight up say it. And now that I've made them straight up say it, I don't know. I just feel like your insult doesn't carry as much weight now.
yeah.
It's like, because I don't give a shit.
Because you get emotionally reactive. Like, if somebody is truly trying to hurt your feelings,
Exactly.
if you get emotionally reactive, that's what they love.
Exactly. And
Like,
I know that's
it
a
fills
cliche line,
but it's true.
It's very true. Exactly.
Even if the insulter is unaware of it. Like, even if both parties are
well,
unaware
no
of
one
it.
ever. That's the thing. Nobody thinks they're doing that.
Some people like fucking with people.
Oh, yeah.
sure. A lot of people like fuck, but nobody thinks that that's what they're doing. Or if they think that's what they're doing, they think the person's lesser or somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, if I, for example, like I consider anyone who's sympathetic to Nazis to be beneath me. And so I would openly make fun of them and try to hurt their feelings and get
Yeah.
an emotional reaction out of them. And so it's basically just transfer that to like regular people that aren't.
Yeah. Not
that
such
aren't
a
Nazi
extreme.
sympathizers.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna wrap up with saying, like, when your brain goes to thoughts of the past, of moments where you shouldn't have said something, or I wish somebody didn't say something to you, try not to put so much emotional weight on what was said, because maybe they weren't trying to insult you, maybe you perceived it wrong. And also use these experiences that you maybe reacted the wrong way as a teaching lesson
Yeah.
to go forward and navigate a healthier, happier life.
And when it's in regards to something that happened in the past, think about how much you've grown and how much you've changed since then and how you're
Yeah.
not the same anymore. I mean, that's how it is for me because, like, I'll think about stupid things I did in high school, but it doesn't bother me anymore because.
Those people haven't seen Sam
Right.
level 31.
I was going to say, any of the people that I acted stupid in front of in high school, if they met me today, they would not even recognize. In fact, some of them have met me today and didn't even know who I was.
Yeah.
That's big part of like eye
I
surgery.
keep coming back
Scarface.
to. I just keep coming back to the old adage: "Don't sweat the small stuff," and it's all small stuff.
Yeah.
Like a lot of this stuff should just be like you said, you think you're blowing it out of proportion, and
Well,
things like that can be blown out of proportion. Sometimes they should just be dismissed. Be like, "Oh, I should have said this," and just been like, "It's fine, it's fine."
Yeah. With anxiety, like you
I
can't
have
help
anxiety.
it. You can't help it. But
Yeah.
like recognizing it and trying to, like, putting it at the forefront of your mind and trying to be like, give less emotional importance.
Yeah.
It's like,
You don't let yourself dwell on these problems. Just move on. You're like,
Yeah.
Don't sweat the small stuff. And it's all small stuff. Because like whenever there's an injury in the family or something like that, it's like all these things that you think about. You're just like, oh, these aren't important.
Exactly.
These aren't important.
That's a
My
great
family
point.
member is hurt. Like,
It's like,
Yeah.
what would you care about this stuff? If something big happened. Right?
your
Right.
anxiety is telling you everything is existential, but it's not. At the end of the day, time ticks the way it does. Work is going to go on. Your
Shit goes
friends,
by.
if they're really your friends, they'll love you no matter what you said. And, if they really did hurt your feelings, confront them. Is that good?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's good. I think we should move
And
on.
good
to
luck to you guys.
Yeah.
You
Best of
good
luck.
luck to you, poster.
All right, I think on to the next one.
all right. So this one's how to beat phone addiction.
Think you can read this one? Or you want me to do it again?
You go
I'm
ahead.
happy to.
Yeah, I like your voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like your voice too, Mike. Anyways, so this one's titled, and it's by Government Prop
We don't need a.
is the name. 18 hours ago. How to beat phone addiction. All right. It says, how's it going? Hope everyone's doing well. I really just want to get some advice or pro tips on how to kick my phone addiction. I just don't think that I'm really living life right. I go to work, hit the gym, cook, clean, socialize on weekends, and I have a hobby. But other than that, I'm on my phone. Wow. You're already doing better than
Yeah.
a lot of people here. Okay. So I know it seems like I have a lot going on, but there are days where I spent 5 hours on my phone and I'm just in shock every time I see it. Okay. I always think to myself, wow, I could have spent 5 hours learning something, reading, or doing literally anything else productive. It's a pretty annoying little habit, and I'm going to try and work on breaking it. Figured I'd start here and see if any pros know some nice tricks to kick things off. Let's make it a New Year's resolution while we're at it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys in advance. Okay, so I think this is a very good New Year's resolution, personally.
Yeah.
Like, I think, okay, and I mean, it depends also on what those 5 hours are, because if those 5 hours are,
It seems like he says that they're non-productive. So I'm imagining TikToks.
yeah. So here's the thing: stay the fuck up. I have ways.
Hey, now.
What? No. I mean, I'm serious. This is my advice. You can
Yeah,
give yours,
yeah.
but mine is stay off things like TikTok. Stay away from too many reels.
Yeah.
Too many short videos. This might even be in one for all we know. But like,
Right.
no, seriously, like, because I notice I spend a lot of time on my phone too. But it's like I listened to a 2.5 hour video the other day while I was driving that was just explaining things to me about legal advice, stuff about not legal advice, but about how the law works,
Yeah.
in certain places. And it's like I retained a decent bit of that information, and I don't know how much use it's going to do me, but it felt way more productive than sitting and doing the real thing for 2 hours, which I have been very good about just staying. Like if you sit and look at reels, because I think that's a big part of it. This is something I actually have like a really high opinion on. Like,
Yeah.
if you're sitting there doing the reels for too long, that's the problem. You need to maybe think about it in terms of like watch a handful of them, 5, 10. As soon as they start not being relevant with one another, stop. That's very early in the process.
Yeah.
They immediately start going, like I picked the other day, I actually did reels, and I was like, Richard Dawkins, right? I want to see some reels of him talking about stuff. And I watched about 3 or 4, and then it jumped to something else, and I was just like, okay, I'm done with this. And I actually set it down and started doing something else.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like, because I have just recently kind of started doing it. I've been so against reels ever, and I've been recently doing it. I see the addiction. I see how addicting that can be.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they're saying that it's non-productive, I mean, I think this is easy. First of all, I like how much self-awareness they have.
Mm-hmm.
They laid out a good amount of context too. They're not slacking off on their regular stuff. It's not like a bad problem, just something they want to change. And it seems realistic from where like the poster is coming from. Yeah, and I would say exactly what you were saying is just like make sure that you gauge how much time wasting you do, and really, I've tricked my brain into thinking that if I just listen to an essay or listening to a seminar or a podcast, that's better. And so like they obviously feel bad about the types of things that they're doing online, right? Like so
Well-
you could trick your brain, and like I still think no phone time or anything like that's bad, or like it's not realistic. So like
I would say we are in the 21st century, so like you do need to move forward with the idea that you'll be using your phone. But
Yeah.
if you are spending, first off, 5 hours a day compared to a lot of people, like a lot of people spend every waking minute on the phone.
yeah.
Yeah.
So 5 hours a day isn't that bad. And so what you're worried about, like if you really want to stop using the phone, first off, that'll depend on where you live, because if you can go outside more, do that. But if it's more about what you're doing on the phone,
Yeah.
find more productive things.
Which I
to
think
do.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like
Keep using the phone.
find a
It
thing.
sounds like this person's a very productive person in society.
Find a
and
thing
everything,
that doesn't feel like a waste of time.
Do like Ian was saying earlier, they have apps where you can learn languages.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
You can
exactly.
spend 5 hours learning Spanish on your phone.
And you can still have like you're chilling on your couch. It's your off day for working out. House is clean. Dinner's cooked. You want to waste some time. You want leisure time. That's fine. Like learn a new skill like we were talking about earlier. Watch some YouTube tutorials.
Pick an
or even-
intelligent podcast to listen to.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe even this one.
Okay, yeah. Way to just kill the joke.
Well, the joke is that we're not intelligent.
True, we're dodo birds and pelicans. Pelicans are still around.
But yeah, just find things that don't feel like a waste of time to you. Read a new article, or I've been liking lore videos, is what I
Me
call
too.
them.
Well, I guess it depends on what you mean, but yeah.
You like how it's made. Like I like watching like Campbell's soup lore.
Oh, okay.
Like-
that's cool.
Like I'm
see,
interested.
that's-
If you're ever interested in those things, try to chase
That might be the kind of thing though that they want to stop doing. Like, what good is it? What good is Campbell's soup lore?
I'm just saying, whatever it is that makes you feel better about your
Right.
time.
It gives
Like,
it
so
gives
instead
the
of me
impression-
watching entertainment content, I'm at least learning about how something was made, or like, I'm learning something.
Learn something,
I'm
yes.
learning something instead of, and you can find them in very entertaining ways, like how it's made, or there's YouTube essays out there.
Well, and one like I mentioned Sam Harris earlier. I'd reckon like it can be very if it's he's the type of person he doesn't do reels exciting. You know what I mean? He's very flat. But
Yeah.
if you're actually listening, you're learning something. You will learn something.
Yeah, and without like telling like whatever it will be. Is like
Right.
find the thing that makes you not feel bad about your
But like,
your
turn
phone
on, start
usage.
meditating. Turn on a meditation app. Use your
Yeah.
phone for that, instead of watching cats fart.
Yeah,
and burp
I
at the
think
same time.
short format is like really the problem.
Yeah, I think that's the
Like-
crux of the issue is the
Yeah,
short
yeah.
format stuff.
because you can learn stuff on Instagram and stuff, but it's not. He understands that it's like a problem of engagement, or like I think he has awareness that the algorithms are meant to just keep you kind of hooked in stasis. So throwing in something that stimulates your brain a little bit more in the mix of that's very healthy. I think that he'll crush it.
Yeah, I think you got this one. So yeah, just keep some of that in mind, and then go forward. Like you said, New Year's resolution. Maybe next time you want to sit down and go through the short format reels, whatever it might be, pick an hour-long podcast and listen to that instead.
Yeah, or
And again,
tutorials, learn something. Feel
Yeah.
like history.
a
If
software
history is your
program.
thing, you want to learn about
learn about it. Like, okay, yeah,
just learn about something.
yeah,
whatever
like,
it is.
If history is your thing, learn about a president nobody's heard about.
yeah, like
Not
there's
one of the big ones.
we live in the age where there's a lot of time. There's still time wasters. Don't get me fucking wrong. It's
Yeah.
not better that you're learning about William F. McKinley instead of like just watching Asians
It
bouncy
depends.
ball challenges.
Well, it depends. If you learn about
However-
something that set a precedent for today, then you have a better understanding of today.
However,
Whereas
if
cats
you-
that fart and burp at the same time,
yeah,
you're not
yeah.
getting anything out of that.
Yeah.
Like how it's how he views the time spent.
Exactly.
However makes you feel like you've spent your time better. Because like when I look up how to, whatever, like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
even gonna use some of it. Like
Right. No,
But-
I totally get that.
it to me, it feels better than just pure short format nothing.
Yeah.
Like I convinced my brain that learning how hardwood floors are made is better than that. Maybe it's not, but
I mean, I think it.
but it's how I feel about it.
I think it's true. I think that it is true that like a lot of it depends, like, because there are short videos that can show you how to do something,
Yeah.
but you have to select you can't
if
just
that's
go
not-
into a random rabbit hole of short
Yeah,
content.
yeah. But if
videos.
that's not the feeling he's getting, find the content that does that for you.
exactly. So
You don't have to change the habit. Just refocus it.
and so on the note of New Year's resolutions, we did discuss one here for
Yeah.
but we didn't actually discuss what it would be. We just discussed that we would discuss one.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
while we still have some time, we should get on to that.
So resolution for this show, we're already enacting some of it.
Yeah.
Like we've got cameras here.
That is a
We
big
are
one.
going to be, and we've been doing this podcast just kind of seat of our pants, getting it out. And we've been trying to grow and like get the fundamentals, the basics down. And I think we've taken a step up.
We've hit a new stride on that front.
And those steps, the stairs to like good content and things that you guys want to spend your time on will never end. We will always get at least a little better all the time. I can promise that. It's not even a resolution.
And I think, and I mean, this is something that's kind of always been the case, but should anyone actually comment, you like, you subscribe, you tell us what you want to do, we'll do a whole episode on something that somebody wants to see.
we do want to hear from
Yeah.
you. We're going to
Yeah.
be, now that we have video, we're going to be on the social medias. We're going to have a Facebook group. We're going to have the things where we do want to hear from people. So if you guys can do your best to share this with people, we want this to be a space where we just hang out with a couple guys. We want gals in the room,
Yeah.
like, just, we want to be like people that we feel like you, or like that you feel like we hang out,
Yeah.
we're just in the room hanging out,
And
thinking
we're-
about life.
We're gonna stick with video. We're gonna keep our setup here. I think our New Year's resolution is to just stick with it. We're gonna keep doing wise words for dodo birds.
So yours is we're going to stick with it, and mine is we're going to improve. I like them both together.
Yeah. we're gonna make sure, because again, it's almost hard to call it a resolution because we've done it so far. We've done 12 episodes, one a week.
But we're committing.
I want to continue to do one a week, maybe up to two. Maybe that could be the thing. We'll get up to 2 a week by the end of the year.
Maybe even a Patreon.
Ooh, there we go.
Ooh, yeah.
That's on the
that
realm
could
of
be a
like
goal.
maybe a little ambitious.
That
but-
comes
that's
after
like a goal.
comes after we share this podcast with your friends and potentially get a little more.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
the
balls
idea
rolling.
of also trying to get up to 2 episodes a week by the end of the year. That does not seem impossible.
And
it's-
resolutions, we'll stick to the one, see how it goes.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, Dodo Birds. Happy New Year. I hope you have a good 2024 going forward. Shout out to Slim Pickens again on the outro.
And we will see you next time in 2024.
Woo!